Okay. Um. Who did it? Yeah, I was asked how I made this my Blender remake of the PlayStation 2 startup, and I don't remember a whole lot. Um, and this is also kind of, I don't know if you call it kit-bashed, but it was kind of, yeah, it kind of uh, uh, haphazard. I think intuitive would be the nice way to put it. And the result of also following a lot of tutorials myself. So, this would kind of be a poor proxy for those, but I'll go through it anyway. Uh, Here's a mistake that I just never saw for the PlayStation 1 version. Yeah, I mean, for all these towers, these are just instanced duplicates of each other. Oh, well, apparently not that one, but... Or, yeah. Huh? How are they like two? Are there two each? That's not... That's definitely not right. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, anyway. Um, yeah. So I would simply duplicate all of these and move them around by like 12 meters in each, or have them all lined up 12 meters spaced out from apart each other, ones that are like right by each other. But the problem is that when I would move one of these, I duplicated this twice and forgot that the position was keyframed. So I would move it, and then it would just snap right back into place and forget where I put it. So, I know I deleted the wrong one. So yeah, it's supposed to look like that. The reason why these ones are dark is because they're not linked to the same light list or lighting list. And then, if you don't know what that is, I'll explain that as best I can in a moment. Yeah, the most obvious thing is that I decided to render this in cycles as opposed to Eevee. I did try it in Eevee, but it just looked cartoony. Maybe I could have gotten it to look really good in Eevee, but I wouldn't know. Ray tracing is just the easiest way to, get good lighting because it is all ray traced. The only downside is, as you can see, is that, it takes some time to get a clear image. So yeah, but that's like the most obvious thing, or the most fundamental thing, really. And then you have the blue mist here. And the blue mist is just a volume, a simple empty volume that I created, and told to take the shape of a mesh that I created. In this mesh is just a big glob of meta balls, and meta balls are these little things, right? If you don't know, whatever. Uh, if I'm talking down to, sorry, but yeah, yeah, and they're these things, and they fuse together when they get close within, I guess, this sort of proximity here, indicated by the little radius here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Look at that, it's an oval, but then it gets to the center, and it's a circle, and then it turns more ovular. The magic of rendering everybody. Yeah, and just, oh, oh, oh. And I don't know what other applications there are of these. Maybe like doing a blockout for a more curved shape like a person. But with regards to volumes, typically just for making clouds. And, this is a pretty good cloud. I like this. Yeah. Yeah, no, that sucks. You see, looks like a fucking tumor. So this cloud has its cysts. I don't like that. Yeah, okay, that's whatever. I don't give a shit. No, not you. All right, anyway. So yeah. But the reason why it is so. Did I not fix the mistake? What the hell? All right, there we go. I refixed it. Yeah, but the reason why the mist is so far removed from the meta balls is because of this volume displacement thing that I instructed to take the sort of shape of this noise texture that I really fine-tuned. Because normally a volume's just supposed to occupy the exact sort of area as the mesh, follow it. But yeah, I just modified this so much so that it became offset, so I didn't move the meta balls up to the corner of the frame here. So the mist would occupy the same relative, or kind of the same composition as it did in the actual console startup. So yeah. And then there's really nothing to the shader itself. I just added another noise texture with a very slight range of color, just to give it just a slightly more amount of texture. And this is really CPU expensive, because if I were to roll back or roll forward to like frame 60, it would take about, 8 seconds to process the new position. And this is primarily what caused the longer version of this, where it goes to the PlayStation 2 word mark. Yeah, that animation took 8 hours to render because of this mist, mainly. Because if I were to reduce the amount of voxels to 30, yeah, you can kind of see it doesn't look very convincing. It looks pretty cartoony. So yeah. And then here we go. Yeah, now we're gonna have to practice patience. Here we go. So yeah, and then just to animate the scroll of it, all I did was just simply press G and then drag it to the left, or I'm sorry, to the right on the y-axis, and there you go. And then slightly rotate it on the X. Just give it a little bit more of a 3D look. So that's it for that. And then we have the oh no, the main light. That's right, yeah. And this is just a plane. It's just a simple plane. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, weird. Anyway, yeah, it's just a simple plane with a shader that is instructed to emit light from one of the normals, and its strength is at 43, the shade of blue. And the real creative liberty I took with doing this was just having the lights turn on with the strike of the pad, and just stagger the Sony Computer Entertainment word mark just a little bit, just to make it visually clear. And then I also tweaked the behavior of the light rays and cut down the length they travel at. So, because you can see these towers fade rapidly into darkness, in a surreal way, much in the same way as the PlayStation 2 startup. And if I were to move this, you can see these. You can see the towers visibly going down for further distance, but here it's a pretty quick fade into nothing, which is pretty important for the startup's sense of mystique and infinitude, maybe is the word, whatever. Yep. Then they all mix together and then output onto the little invisible plane here. And the real problem that I didn't know how to solve, and I'm pretty sure is why I've traded to Blender 4, if I remember correctly, is that when these lit, these glass cubes here, they would be totally blown out, like the faces were completely white, save for a couple. Okay, here's the parent of the cubes. If I were to go over to this light link and just drag these in, yeah, you can see they're just completely shaded white, and the areas that are not are, on or off pixels. There's no softness whatsoever here, and it looks awful. And so, yeah, one of the newer features in Blender is, I believe, let's go back over here, is that you can create basically a separate sort of, almost like a different space for lighting. So there are objects that certain light rays will interact with, or like basically like a club for lights. This club of lights gets to interact with this stuff, and then a different club gets to interact with different objects. But it's like the light rays are completely separate from each other and don't interact with anything outside of it, outside of its little click. So in this case, the cubes are outside of that little group and are isolated. I just combined click and group right there subconsciously. It's insane. That's how words get married, people. Oh my god, you're witnessing etymology right now. Holy shit. Yeah. Yes, that's how I did that. That's fun. And then the glass cubes. Here's like a musgrave texture and a Voronoi texture here. Just to add some frosted, barely perceptible a frosted look as a bump map for this. To get a sort of a thick glassy look in addition to this actually metal bump map or normal map. Really, they call it bump in the engine, but it's really a normal map from Halo Reach. And stop playing games. Go to bed. You need to have school tomorrow. Fucker. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And so I combine these two together to create this normal map, or this normal effect. And I think it works pretty good. It looks detailed enough without looking like over the top or too thick, or tacky rather, like some of those walls of like very like heavy, thick glass tiles that you might see outside of like a legal office or something that completely obscure anything behind or in front. Not quite that tacky, but thick enough. And then I really finely adjusted the index of refraction, just so. That took a little while just to tune that to get that right, because yeah, you can see even a little too far. You can see it's like you can kind of tell like right here what this is refracting, right? What object this is refracting. You can kind of get a sense of location, whereas push it too far, now it's just completely linear, and then beyond that, it's kind of hard to discern. Maybe this one little looked better actually, but because you can't really tell what's being refracted, but it does look like. But then again, it looks like it's like zooming in. It's like really lensing, and I didn't really want that. So this is pretty much perfect. I'm pretty sure. Did I not have it? And no, I didn't even adjust the tenths or the ones. Okay, cool. Or the hundredths. That's cool. Well, anyway, yeah. So that's how I did that. The towers are like ridiculous. This is insane. I did not even use these. This like just completely improvised, and I honestly don't understand a good amount of what's going on here. I barely understand what's going on here. Oh right, this Blender works differently than other programs I use. Yeah, get out of here. No one fucking likes you. You're useless. Well, apparently something likes it, because even though I deleted that totally unused texture, the whole thing re-rendered anyway. Yeah, so, oh, I don't even need this. I don't need, do I need this? Yeah, no, I don't need that. I don't need this. Okay, here we go, yeah. Right, so this whole composite here, of this, noise and Voronoi texture, if I were to take the, what do you call it, the noise texture and pop it in here, that gives, holy shit, I actually don't think I've ever looked at it from this perspective, but you can kind of see it's, what am I looking at? It's really, it looks like a, what do you call, like a broken screen. Yeah, but then if I were to, plug that back into the Voronoi texture, and then make that the color, you can really see there's a real sort of jagged look to this, that, kind of resembles concrete. And if I were to take out the noise texture, what would that actually do? Yeah, it would just make it completely straight. Oh, no. Well, that's not really why. And then, yeah, if I were to just leave the Voronoi texture as it is, this kind of looks like crystals. So, yeah, the Voronoi texture gives some order to the noise texture, and, or no, that's no, the reverse. The noise texture really distorts the Voronoi texture and takes that order and just pushes it a little bit into the kind of, I don't really want to call it craziness, but the sort of roughness of concrete, the randomness to it. And the sort of effect that I, was intending was the look that you see here. I really benchmarked the look of this shader based off this reflection right here. Because I kind of wanted it to look like gas was condensing onto the sides of these things and make them look like they were getting dirty from all the sort of gaseous. I mean, because really, like, why are they fading so quickly into darkness? It's probably gas, so it's all condensing onto these objects, and they look pretty dirty. And then yeah, actually the diffuse for these, that's actually just from the PlayStation 2. You can rip that really easily with a PCSX2. And I even created a normal map in Paint.net with a plugin. So the actual base normal here is right here is just that, which you can see here. Oh my god, that hurts to look at. I'm fucking sorry. Oh man, that's terrible. Blech. Yeah, so that's how I did that, and then, oh god, yeah, the orbs. We're just kind of going further down, in the levels here. Level 1, I understand exactly what's going on, and, at this juncture, I really hardly understand. These are pretty simple. The actual, like, orbs themselves, I key animated that in addition to everything. I tried, guiding them along Bezier curves, but I probably could go ahead. If I were to redo this, the orbs, I could probably do that again with some refined understanding, but I just don't feel like it. I like the control that you get with keyframing everything. Yeah, and of course, on the PlayStation 2, all of these animations are procedural. So, like this glass cube, the spinning animation this has, that has an end, whereas in the PlayStation 2, it just loops, and these orbs will just continue floating around and certain on their tracks until the camera descends, and then they will rise up and go past the camera. Whereas that doesn't happen here. It's all keyframed. In the trails, yeah, that's, or wait, no, I'm not getting to the trails yet. The, actual orbs themselves, the glow just comes from, the compositing. And you can see there already, I just added a glare effect. Very slight. Yeah. But, alright, let's get into it. So, the actual, orbs have a parented vertex, just a single vertex that I use to spawn a trail. That's right, and that's not even it. If I were, yeah, here we go. So that's cross. Where did I put the button orbs? Where the fuck did I put this? Cross trail? Yeah, here we go. Oh, so I.e. the thing like directly beneath. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Boomy's bomb. The expert, yeah. No, anyway. Yeah, this is really complicated. There's a lot going on here. But the general gist of this is, I had Blender, no, that's right. I had Blender create a tiny ball. Is that what I did? Yeah, I had Blender create a tiny ball, at the position of each vertex that's parented to an orb, and turned all of those little balls into points, or vectors, and then I instructed through, hey, shut up, I'm talking here, all of these little points were to be turned into a mesh. Yes, turned into a mesh that would delete after 40 of them have been created. So it would always maintain 40. There could only be 40 at a time, so it could persistently delete the old ones. Or points. Jesus Christ. No, that's right. Yeah, there we go. And then I turned these points into a curve. Here we go. I should have just been looking at this the whole time instead of going from memory. And then I, set the radius to, just so, and I had that it be a gradient. So it's thicker towards the orb and thinner back. And then turn that curve into a mesh. There we go. And then I set the material. so it has color, and then there we go. That's a really, really abstract sort of explanation for all this complexity here. So that's essentially the essence of what I did here. Well, actually, no. The essence of what I did was follow a tutorial, and then I just kind of, gleaned what was going on from that. And of course, I did have to, like, adjust it and custom fit it because it didn't exactly align with what I was intending to here. But I didn't exactly know what I was doing, but I'm, pretty happy it came out looking as good as it did. Because this pretty much looks spot on for what it looks like on what it looks like on the PlayStation 2. I just think on the PlayStation 2 the actual trails have more of a glow towards the actual orbs themselves. But yeah, that's it. So it's a really rough explanation of all that I did here. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I guess the one thing that I creative liberty that I might have accidentally taken was going for more of a concrete look for the normal map on this. On these monoliths or towers, because looking at the diffuse, like, it's pretty obvious this was meant to look more metallic and technical, but I mean, really due to the the color of them, the blocky shape, and the fuzziness of the 40i composite output, they just looked like concrete to me always. So that's more or less what I went with here. It probably would have been more faithful to make them look like tech towers, but faithful exactly to what? Because that intention wasn't immediately clear to me. So, faithful to intention or to what it really looked like. I don't know. And then over here, one thing that I did notice is that certain towers, I don't know why, but certain towers will twist and turn. It's mostly in the periphery, but... Or no, it can even happen down here, but yeah, towers, I guess, like, newer towers will sometimes twist and turn as the startup continues. Where's the... I'm losing my context here. Here we go. But yeah, you can really kind of see it twist and turn right there. It's another detail that I captured. And then just the animation of the camera is pretty sure. I kind of overthought the camera initially because I thought, oh yeah, the startup, like, or the camera, like, approaches, obviously it approaches, like, forward, right? And then, and then all this stuff. And that's really what no, it was something else. And no, that's right. I thought it position or move to the right. Yeah, you can see I'm starting to get fatigued just talking about all this shit. But actually, no. Yeah, no. It just continues straight down towards the center, and I think actually the camera's slightly off center. Like if you have a PlayStation 2 memory card inserted in all the towers, or all your memory cards just completely, you have like max towers and they're all at equal height. There will be a tower directly in center. And you can see the centermost tower is slightly off center, so that's an error that I made that I don't really think is really that no one really cares. What else? Oh yeah, these lights. Yeah, these lights. So if I were to bring back the blue mist. Yeah, if I were to bring back the blue mist and turn off the light, you can see the blue mist is still lit, and that's just by these 2-point lights. And for the PlayStation 2, or for the actual PlayStation 2 word-marked version, I just put in a third light down here. And yeah, so I mean, even if the main light were on and these were off, you could barely see the actual mist. And sort of an unintended consequence of that is... yeah, an unintended consequence is that... oh, fuck off, no one likes you. Is that there's, like, a little, like, you can see the glow of the point light source, which actually looks pretty cool to me. It looks like a star, and I like that, actually, so it's kind of a happy accident there, but yeah, that's really everything that I did here. So that's how I made this. Yep.